Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Fries with Potate, and you'll never believe who's actually here right now. It's the one and only OG and OG sitting with his Kuji brother, Brodha. I swear I practiced so many times not to say brother, but okay, பரவாயில்ல ஏதோ ஆயிடுச்சு. How are you?
I'm good. நீங்க எப்படி இருக்கீங்க?
நல்லா இருக்கேன். Honestly, I could not believe it when they reached out to me. I was like, oh my god, Brodha is coming to my podcast. It felt like it honestly feels so surreal to sit with you here, and I'm like a big fan. Just letting you know.
I think you're just exaggerating because, I think everybody's a big fan of yours as well. நாங்களும் உங்க content ரொம்ப consume பண்ணுவோம். I keep getting a lot of your videos and everything. So I was like, என்னைக்காவது இவங்க கூட போய் பேசணும்.
Oh my god, thank you. But yeah, so when you started rap, it was through texts.
Yes.
Is what I believe. And how did that work? Like, run me through that.
So I started doing this very young. I think I was sort of maybe 16 or 17 years old. I mean, I was writing a lot of stuff even before that. But rap into Purunji, idadam pannuntu, it came to me when I was, I think, about 16 or 17 years old. And at that time, we had this social media thing called Orkut, which was even before Facebook and stuff. So at that point, it was, I mean, all of us were new to anything like music and all of that. None of us had been into a studio. So we didn't know how to record content. We didn't know how to record music. We don't know how to record.
Yeah.
We just had a system. Okay, or we know where to.
Data kammiya thana
Correct.
You have to ration
Exactly.
data.
So you can look up YouTube and stuff like that and learn how to record music, mix music, how to produce beats and all of that. Apply edume kediyadu. So you're like, okay, idella inga eludhi vechirukom raps and everything. Where do you put this out? So we used to just put it up on Orkut. We used to have these forums. Battle forums and all of that stuff. People used to battle it out, battle each other.
On text?
On text.
How does that work?
So nobody knows, if you have a flow, rhythm irkaarla onnu kediyadu.
Okay.
எழுதுறது மட்டும் gangster-ஆ இருக்கா அவ்வளவுதான். If I'm dissing you, I'm like, oppa enna sonna. That's all. You don't even know if it's an actual person or a cat typing this out. But if it disses you, it disses you. That's it.
And you actually used to have beef online.
It wasn't beef. It was more like a competition. Everybody just wanted to participate. It's almost like, having a cricket match. That's it. You wanted to be the best one participating. And that's what, battling always has been in general. It's like even dance battles and everything that happen. Crews come together, they battle it out. But not because they're enemies, but just to see who's the better, who's got the better bars, who's got better talent.
At the time, I believe rock music was the biggest thing, back in Bangalore at least.
Correct.
So I used to have cousins who lived there.
Right.
And they all used to be drummers and guitarists and stuff like that. So they used to be part of this ensemble. My Periappa used to be so proud of them. I was like, why is my Periappa? So why can't he be my dad? Little bit I felt. But yeah, I knew that it was pretty much rock centric, and rap is a completely different art in consideration with rock,
Yes.
So oh my god, baller rap. But yeah, how did you fit into that equation at that time?
I think everybody around me, obviously, like you said, rock music dhaan kepanga, and that was the cool thing to be a part of. And everybody related to it at that point. I was more of a writer. I always liked writing things down. And either as a short story or a script or a short film, something like that, I would just keep writing. And I think over time I realized that I could rhyme words and I could rhyme sentences and all of that. And I figured rap would be the way to go for me. And so I think the music automatically worked for me. I just connected with it. I felt like I had a story to tell, and all I needed was a mic, and that's about it. Even if I didn't know how to produce music initially, or anything, any beat, even a movie song or anything of that sort, I could just rap over it, and it's just giving me a voice to say something. But the biggest problem how do you go out and show it to people?
Yeah.
That I'm a rapper. Everywhere you go to a college festival talent show அங்க வரது எல்லாமே ராக் பேண்ட்ஸ் தான். And whoever is organizing this will also be சரி நீங்கள் எப்படி ப்ளே பண்ண போறீங்க, அது ஒரு சிடி இருக்குது சார், அது பீட்ஸ் இருக்கும், ப்ளே பண்ணுங்கன்ட்டு. And they wouldn't understand anything because they'd be like, okay, அங்கே ட்ரம்மர் இருக்கான், அங்கே கிட்டாரிஸ்ட் இருக்கான், அங்கே வோக்கலிஸ்ட், அங்கே மைக் கேரி ஓகே ஓகே
அப்படி சொல்லுங்க.
And also what would happen was நாங்கெல்லாம் அப்போ பாப்புலர் ரேப் பீட்ஸை டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிட்டு நம்ம அது மேலே ரேப் பண்ணுவோம். நாங்கள் என்ன எதிர்க்கோமோ that we would rap on top of that. But people would assume that because it's a popular rap beat or a Tupac beat or Eminem beat, they'd assume that we are starting to rap that particular song. And then they'll be like, then we'd kind of people wouldn't really get it at that point.
Yeah.
So we had to start off with smaller circuits and ciphers or maybe groups.
I wanted to ask, how did ciphers happen? Like, if I think about it a lot these days, that how we have very few open mics in Chennai at least, very few, very limited, you know, and most of the time same people appear in the same open mics again and again, because those people actually want to be part of these open mics,
True.
And at least it's easier to propagate that, oh my god, there's an open mic happening, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter,
correct.
everywhere. How did it even pass on? How did even ciphers happen? Because you need to find like-minded people to be part of ciphers.
True. Nanga Bangalore, at that point, what we used to do was, as a group of underground rappers, MCs, we'd put a plan and be in the Saturday, we are meeting at this one particular coffee shop. There'd be some 7-10 of us. We'd just start freestyling, ciphering and stuff like that. And we'd obviously get more eyeballs, just so, we were doing this just to catch people's attentions.
Yeah.
I don't think we had open mics and stuff, and it was very hard to get in touch with an organizer and be give us a platform like this, because everything was revenue sharing basis. And we weren't sure, 4 பேர் 5 பேர் போய் ஒரு rap event பண்ணா, to make any money. And open mics weren't the scene back then. So we used to go from coffee shop to coffee shop, place to place. A lot of times you'd get chased by cops and I'll be like, what is this gathering you guys are doing? So we used to go from area to area and just freestyle, rap, cipher and all of that stuff. So we used to get...
So cool that would have been. Thinking about how cool this would have been.
And this was more on-ground marketing also, if you think about it. True. We didn't have internet and the facilities that are offered today. So at that time we used to just as long as we get eyeballs, in the area ponoma, South Bangalore, not North Bangalore, then we'll go to Mumbai sometime. And Mumbai we'll connect with the scene over there, and we'll be in Chennai sometime, somebody from the scene who's there. And we just go from area to area and just freestyle, and more people got awareness, and then people realized that okay, there is an underground scene. It's very underground. There is a community of people, and anytime there was a DJ coming to play in town, they'd all invite us and be like, I have a show for 1 hour. I'll give you guys a 10-minute slot. Why don't you just freestyle, get on the mic and do something? So we started building an audience on a very organic, on-ground basis. So from there it's come this far.
I also want to ask something, right now, when we're building a story, right? You can do it pretty easily.
Right.
To be honest, if you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Right.
Any story, any brand, you can build it.
Right.
Or today you can start and you can build it. But back then, how did you get people to invest in your story? Why should they invest in your story?
Right.
When you're starting off, everybody think that's the first question everybody has. Why should I actually invest my time, my energy, investing in your story?
Right.
And especially in the rap scene, it's all about the rapper's story.
Correct.
What do they have to tell us? What do they have to share? That's the whole art form.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So, how did you get people back then to really invest in who you are and what you have to say?
For me, when I first started rapping, I noticed that a lot of rap music that was coming out in the country, it was mainstream music mainly. It was mainstream hip hop, your pop songs with rap verses in it, and they were all radio hits. It was meant to play in clubs, sort of a thing, and predominantly only Hindi, Punjabi songs at that point were hits that would play on TV, radio, and all of that stuff, and they had their own fan following. At that time we were very underground. We were from middle class backgrounds and everything. We can't afford to go put a music video and a big song mix master distribution. We didn't know also. So what we did was, okay, just to stand out, we'll be very raw and real. We'll do the complete opposite of what they are doing. We won't be flashy. We won't be all out there. We won't brag about how much we have, how much we have.
I've noticed that in your music as well.
When we started off, we had nothing. I won't be lying about, oh, I come in this car, I have 4 bands of this thing, I have 25 jewelry pieces hanging on me. Adlan solla mudiyadhu. So I started talking about very real things of what I was going through and where I come from, and I think that connected with a lot of people my age group at that point, because everybody was going through this. It was
damn cool, bro. I'm just thinking about it right now. Not that you're not cool now, but had I been your age back then, I would have definitely been this guy's damn cool. You get what I'm saying? Like, dude, like back then it's so baller, bro. Today you do it like you're just another person trying to make it. You know? Back then you were just like, what the hell, bro?
But yeah, like we started off, and luckily it worked out for me. I'm glad it did.
It's like, I'm not trying to like, I'm sorry if I said something wrong, but it's genuinely so cool for me because like right now, if someone wants to do something, you can never say that I don't have the means to do it because everybody has a smartphone. Everybody has the Jio SIM card with free internet, you know.
True.
So if you want to do something, you can 100% do it, you know, with your shitty phone and your shitty internet. You can definitely do it. So there's no excuse. But back then, you probably would have had like 1,000 excuses, bro.
I was just very, like, honestly, very passionate and படிப்பலாம் அவ்வளோ வராது. I was like, இது படிக்கிறதுக்கு நான் இன்ஜினியரிங்லாம் போயிட்டேன்னா எனக்கு வேலை கிடைக்காது. I will be like, you know, suffering. I'll be like jobless. Let me just follow something that I'm really passionate about and I believe I can be good at. And if I'm spending all my time, like, you know, all my time that I'm awake doing one thing, I feel like this is where my path is headed. And the more time that I spend with it, I'm sure I'll get better at it and keep getting better at it to a point where, like, you know, I'll start earning a paycheck from it. And that's how, like, you know, kind of became my career.
What was it like convincing your parents back then?
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare, obviously. And first of all, like, you know, when you are in just like your 11th, 12th mudikira time, like, people obviously will be like engineering or medicine, like traditional jobs and stuff like that. In the college, marks varudhu, all of that stuff. And I'm sitting over here saying that I want to do music and specifically rap music that nobody's aware of. And there is no such scene in India also. People are like, okay, sir, you know, music pannuna kuda, like, you should have at least pick up a guitar or Carnatic music kattuko, like, you know, playback singing kattuko. Appadan, like, you know, you'll be able to like, at least make money or become an assistant director to a music director. Adu kuda music therunjirano and stuff like that. And this is back in the day when I was just a rap artist. I wasn't even producing music and stuff yet. So it was obviously like a nightmare because my parents definitely thought I was delusional and they were like, it won't happen and stuff. So I did, like, you know, get into engineering for a bit. I quit, like, you know, within my, I think after my first semester I had like 4 backlogs.
Wow, crazy.
And I was like, one more backlog. Yeah. One more backlog and I'm out, like, you know, the college anyway. What am I doing here?
Really?
Yeah, they had like a rule that you can't have more than 4 backlogs in a year. I mean, you fail a year basically. They'll just keep you back. So I was like, bro, I'm just wasting time anyway. So let me just, I quit that and I started doing my audio engineering and filmmaking and stuff.
That made sense.
Yeah. And and again, it's not like a course where you really go to get marks sort of a thing, but more like to just be around the kind of job that you want to do, around the people that do the same kind of things that you do. And a lot of those people who I studied with then are still my friends and they still work with me.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. They still shoot my videos. Yes. Pretty much the same team, like, you know, since then.
Yeah, scooty la irukumbodhu onnu dhaan. Lambo la irukumbodhu onnu dhaan. That should be one of your bars next
Oh,
time.
yes, I should. Collaborating artists.
Ayyo. Tala. Okay, so you started rapping when you were in 12th grade. You started writing them.
Yeah.
And then you really got into it with the ciphers.
Yes.
And then you didn't want to do engineering at that point. Then what happened next? There was like what you were part of Machas
Yes, I was.
attitude, which I'm guessing is like very heavily inspired by the NWA.
Yes, we were like very heavily inspired by them. Yes.
Yeah. So what was that like being part of like a crew?
So we were like the only crew, like, you know, that I mean, only 3 rappers that were rapping and stuff, like, you know, properly, like making audios, trying to record on a mic, and, you know, we knew how to flow on a beat and all of that stuff. And 2 of us were from Bangalore and we've not met each other. And the third one is from Chennai and we all know each other from Orkut. And we were like, sorry, we'll just, like, you know, form a crew, whether we meet or not. We'll just, like, you know, chuma record songs. நீங்க ஃபைல்ஸ் எல்லாம் எனக்கு அனுப்புங்க, எனக்கு எவ்வளவு மிக்சிங் வருமோ அதை நான் பண்ணிட்டு நம்ம சும்மா ரிலீஸ் பண்ணலாம் அப்படியே.
Where did you release this back
There was
then?
this one site called soundclick.com.
Okay.
Soundclick, there was MySpace, there was rejuvenation, all these sites. All sites irukkaanu therilla appo. But we used to, like, you know, just release content just for the rest of the scene to see. And we used to be like, okay, which city has the best rappers, who's putting out the best songs, who's got better bars and all that. Chumma namukulleye chumma competition mari adu. It's not like we're getting paid or anything out of it, but get the all. So we used to do that stuff, and I still remember we had recorded like 4 or 5 songs and we'd release them, and that's the first time after that is when we've even met for the first time as a group. We haven't even, like, you know, had FaceTime. We don't even know how Like we actually look like in person.
Okay.
Appalam badly edited that, what is that, Picasa, one app, the app used to be there, right? Where people used to write, the photo editor, like, you know, people would put all reds, full contrast
Oh
and
my
everything.
God, yeah. I remember.
We all used to look like tomatoes and like, you know, like a bloodbath in there, like, you know, full reds, blues.
Greens.
Yeah. Like, whatever we know, just put it in there.
தெரிஞ்ச வித்த எல்லாமே இந்த one JPEG ல இறக்குறேன்.
And we were like, we met each other for the first time and we couldn't even recognize each other, and that's how funny it was. And then, like, you know, we just went back into the studio. Then we became a crew. We started doing a couple of shows.
Imagine you got catfished or something. Just saying, like what if it was like a 50-year-old man?
But a 50-year-old man spitting hot bars like that, I mean, like, come on, dude. This is like a selling point.
Yeah, at that point it would have been like a Netflix movie, man.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. But yeah, so we started doing a lot of shows. We got a couple of movie offers. We used to, like, you know, write for movies, rap all these BGMs and all that for movies and all that. And then eventually, like, you know, we split also. We went our own different ways because we all had different things, different ideologies, and we wanted to achieve different things musically. And one of them didn't want to make music also anymore. So I was like, okay, cool. Now we just have our own different paths.
Okay. So, wow, how was it like? Because, like, I understand what it's like to be part of, like, a team and then to be solo.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because it feels a little bit, like, isolating at that point. Because, like, hey, என்னடா எல்லாரும் ஒண்ணா ஆரம்பிச்சு இப்படி ஆயிடுச்சே அப்படின்னு. You know, it does feel a little bit isolating. If not, like, a lot.
Correct.
Probably retrospectively, you're just like, அவ்வளோ பெரிய சீன்லாம் இல்லை தலை அப்படின்னு. But, you know, at that point, it can feel kind of, you know.
100%. Because, like, you know, when we started as a crew, we were very comfortable with our sound and what each person brought to the table and all of that stuff. And we were kind of used to, like, you know, what the local scene was talking about us as a crew. We were, like, quite popular in Bangalore and all of that.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And then when we split, it was, I mean, by the time we split itself, like, you know, I was doing things on my own. I got my first record deal up. So I was like, okay, I mean, it's not that bad also. It's just that, like, you know, just hang out with your bros and all that stuff. Some days you'll be like, dude, used to chuma go hang out over here. It used to be fun and all that. That was one thing, like, you know, that was a downer.
Yeah.
But apart from that, musically, I knew, like, you know, this is the path that I had to take. And I had a very different vision with respect to my music. And the others had something else in their minds. So I was like, okay, creatively, modaramsto. So there is no point, like, you know, forcing this in, like, you know, making this work.
Yeah, idukku mele idukku. Yeah, made sense.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask, so you predominantly rap in English,
Yes.
right? And I'll tell you what, like, even when it comes to content creation, right? There is, like, that regionality difference.
Correct.
And I talk about it a lot over here, you know. And when I saw your interviews from, like, 6-7 years ago, adula pesindinga neenga. And I was just like, wow, this guy's, like, actually, like, wow, like, he's so forward. Like, because I recognized that in one of the interviews where you had spoken, you were just like, you know, there is a little bit of a disparity in how, like, language is treated across India, you know. So what made you at that point stick to your guns and be like, yo, English is my thing, I'm going to do English, like, enna vena solliko, நான் English பண்ண போறேன், அதோட சேர்த்து நான் என்னோட லாங்குவேஜும் பண்ணுவேன், நீ என்ன வேணா பேசிக்கோ.
So I started doing English, like, you know, predominantly because I was looking up to only English rappers at that point. India, there was nobody else to look up to. We didn't have, like, you know, any heroes, like, you know, who were actually doing it in any other language for us to show that you can, like, you know, become a millionaire, you get record deals, you get brand deals, all of that stuff. So we used to, like, you know, look at our heroes who were like the Nas, the Eminem and all these guys. We want to be like that. We want to sell out stadiums, shows and everything. And obviously it all started off as, like, we were mimicking them and their styles, and we wanted to be just like them before we understood our own sound. But once it started, like, you know, working out for me, once I started making more and more songs, I realized a lot of people, like, you know, in metros and everything speak English. They understand English. And the kind of, like, stuff that I say in my song is also relatable to my people. I don't, like, you know, rap about things that I haven't experienced, I haven't gone through. I don't, like, you know, speak about, like, you know, baseball and stuff like that. So I talk about, like, you know, things that all of us relate to over here. And now, especially, like, now that you look at it after so many years, everybody everywhere speaks, like, you know, English. Even auto drivers are, bus drivers are, like, you know, everybody understands, they like certain songs. Because when I'm taking autos and stuff in Bangalore, I assume that they would come take a picture for me because of my Kannada songs. But they'll get down and be like, sir, I'm the song with a fan, way too easy with a fan, the bars la semmeya irukku bro. And then he'll start like, rapping it out to me.
God. Actually, Bangalore auto drivers are so cool.
They are
like
really
the
cool.
one time I got down from the auto, okay, like train station la irangana auto la erren, and he was like, I'm talking in Tamil, right? I'm hoping he understands Tamil at that point. So I'm talking in Tamil and he's like, okay ma, vandra enga indu varinga, and he's like Chennai, and then he was just like, oh ma, Ilayaraja ma. He was just like slapped his thigh and he was just like Ilayaraja. And bro, I'm not kidding, throughout that auto ride he was literally defending with all his heart and soul why Ilayaraja reserves those copyrights that he's asking for. I'm not kidding, bro. I feel like he had so much awareness about copyright laws.
Right.
And I'm studying law, and I feel like he had more.
Oh, wow.
More like, you get what I'm saying?
Nice.
He was crazy. I took a picture with him. I'll show you later.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, but it makes sense what you're saying, because when you're coming from a place like Bangalore, there are so many diverse people there.
True.
It's not just like Kannadigas, it's also Tamilians, it's also Malayalis, it's also North Indian people, people who speak Hindi. And like what not, bro, everybody's there. Like genuinely it's like one cultural hub.
It's like a common language, like that connects all of us. Like it's easier also, and like the kind of content everybody consumes also in such places is very like a little bit niche and all of that. And I think I consciously took the decision also to rap in English and not like predominantly in regional languages alone. I integrate like regional elements into my music, but I wanted to be a little bit global as well. Because you never know, like now that you see like rappers from India like making it global and all of that, so it just shows that all eyes are on India. True. So you never know when your time will come. So
but at the time, like wouldn't you have felt a little bit like, oh, நான் இப்போ இது வந்து தமிழ்ல பண்ணனா இல்லனா கன்னடால பண்ணனா எனக்கு டெஃபினெட்லி ஒரு growth இருக்கும், இப்போ இங்கிலீஷ்ல பண்றனால ஒரு மாதிரி லைக் கொஞ்சம் அடிபடுது. ஏன்னா நான் ஃபீல் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் when it comes to like my work that I do. Sometimes I feel that if I do it in English it's quite slower than if I did it in like Tamil. It would like really pick up.
எனக்கு சத்தியமா அந்த மாதிரி ஃபீலிங் எனக்குமே வந்ததில்லை. I was like எனக்கு வெறும் தமிழ்ல பண்ணேன்னா I'm reaching out only to the Tamil diaspora. I'll be like boxed in this geography. அதே கன்னடால பண்ணா வெறும் like only Karnataka is my market. ஹிந்தி எனக்கு அவ்வளோ நல்லா வராது. So வந்துச்சுன்னா I can pretty much like I can like I do try and write like Hindi sometimes, but I can't like write on a daily basis and stuff. English is pretty much like my thinking language. So it's easier for me to like write in my thinking language, and also if the growth is slow, it's slow, it's fine. My point over here is that I'm doing good work, I'm owning all my masters, I have created like something great for the world to be a part of, and whatever I get from it, that's about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Rolls Royce illana or Maruti car irundha porum, as long as the work is getting done.
You're creating solo music now. And this is the time you probably find your own sound.
Right.
Because you've found your sound with your crew. And now you're apart from it, and you have to figure out, you have been working on it, but you have to figure out like what you want to do with your own sound. Because if you're going to be someone else, then you're always going to be, he's like him. You have to be him. So what was your I'm him kind of approach to making music?
I think the first thing like that ever happened to me was that when I started making like when I started writing for movies and all of these things, rap BGMs and fillers and all of that stuff. Actually rap used to be used only as a filler in songs and stuff.
I have one playlist called songs with that have English rap in it for no reason. I have a full playlist where the Tamil songs used to have like one 20-second segment where it was just English. And I compiled all of it. I'll show you later, man.
For sure.
Really like showing my playlist.
Probably like half it is me only. But they used to like it was pointless, like chuma or break mari kuduthruvaanga song la, and there'll be some rap going somewhere in the back, you can't even hear it clearly, and on the moment la part like there'll be like one heroine dance sequence or a hero dance, like, and there's no lip sync and stuff like that, and it was very awkward, and I realized that I'm not gaining anything from this, like it's not even great money, to be honest, and I'm not like, getting any, I'm not able to put my face out there. Nobody knows that I'm the one that did this. And Apollo, on the time, even credits weren't like, given properly. So you wouldn't even, like, nobody would even know till I like go and tell my parents, and my parents will have to call them and be like, "Inga paarunga, and the portion on the chang, 5 second. I'm like, okay, super. I'm pretty sure, like, that's, you would also agree that anytime a song comes out and blows up, people identify the actor on screen with that song and not the singer.
Yeah, I think now it's changed
Now it's
a
changing.
little bit.
Yes,
but
now
like
it's
back
changing.
then I completely
Back then,
understand.
100% it was like this actor's song, that actor's
yeah.
song, this actress. Not even the music director, forget the singer.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So for me, I was like, okay, fine. If we have superstars in different languages in the acting space, why can't we have superstars in singing and stuff? Because that's how it works abroad.
Yeah.
Like US singers are like, singers, rappers and all are probably sometimes even bigger than actors.
Yeah.
And here, like, it's a different thing. And I was like, I also want to be that. I also want to be a superstar. So I was like, I'll put my face out there. I want to like make music videos, and I would produce my own music videos, and I would be the star of it. So it's like, you have to see my face, you have no choice whether I look good or not, and that's it. I just wanted people to recognize me. And with respect to sound, I started like, infusing a lot of Indian elements, classical elements, devotional elements and all that, because that's what I grew up with.
Yeah.
And in a way, like, people felt like this was authentic, this was real, because it's understandable, first of all, the lyrics and everything, and the music is like our core, like, element. And sonically, that's how it worked out. Sonically, people like related to the music because it was familiar, like, it came from their land. And the quality and everything, I would like to say, was great.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so people are like, okay, there is like, we also have a rap artist, like, who sounds like pretty cool and everything, but the sound, it's from our land, from where we come from. So that's where the connect began. And like I said, the video side of things, I wanted everybody to recognize my face wherever I go. And that's, I mean, the first step towards branding and becoming like, tomorrow I want a private jet, I need to like know like what's the first step that I need to take towards
You're a
that.
visionary, bro.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Nijamma. Because
Yes.
like, Ipo Yosik, I don't know if it's like that, but like I can think about owning a private jet now because I get like some 10,000 reels about like how you can manifest your private jet.
Yeah.
But like back then, I don't know, man. Like, did you even have people who understood you at that point?
No, to be very honest, first the rap I didn't even think this would become a career.
Yeah.
I thought this would be a hobby. As desperate as I was to make a career out of this, I didn't think it was practical, but I wanted it to be very desperately. I wanted this to be my job. I wanted to wake up and go to work very happy, be like, I'm going to record a song today and this is going to pay me. But like, it wasn't feasible at all. But I was like, but the day it started happening, I was like, I was really, really grateful for everything that worked out for me, and all the like the fans, the supporters who supported my music, shared it, like, made it viral and everything. And because of them, I have a career. I can call it a career now. And that was like pretty cool. The things that the way my life has played out is like, it's a dream, actually. It's a fever dream, to be honest.
So all things said and done, right? You can get people to like be really interested in like a Carnatic sound, because it's like very ingrained in society in general. People listen to like shlokas in the morning.
Right.
It's like part of our society that you're like the proximity is like so high. So even if you don't listen to it, you will be in some way, shape or form like associated to that sound.
Yeah.
So what was about that fusion that really like clicked for you, and at what point did you feel like South Indian rap was getting serious for you?
I used to wake up every day in the morning to like a devotional song playing at home, and every day pretty much. And it was kind of like, the back of my head, it was like kind of, it had soaked into my system by then. And when I started making rap music, initially I was just obviously doing it purely the way my idols and heroes were doing it. And I figured that, okay, I just need to do something new. And by this time I had started producing music and making beats and all of that. So I think the first time I tried something was I took the like that Aigiri Nandini song by, I think, MS Subbulakshmi, that version. I just started sampling it and I started making beats around it. And first time I did that, I found it very like funny because nobody does this. Like, we're not even supposed to do this. I don't know what people are going to say. Like, if I play this, will I get beaten up? Nothing I know. But I just did it and I was like, it gave me an idea. First day it was funny because nobody does this and it was ridiculous for me. But second day I was like, dude, what if I actually, instead of looking at this from a funny perspective, what if I made a serious song about this? And what if I'm actually making it my own? It's very metaphorical about today's times and how do I make it very current, but also use the shloka. And that was one of the first songs that actually inspired me to, like, I hadn't released it, but I kept the song and the idea with me, and that kind of inspired me to make like Atma Rama and like include a lot of fusion elements, sample some like, sitar and some this and that. And I think that eventually became my sound because I was very, like, nobody else was doing it and I was very comfortable doing it. I knew I was good at doing this.
Yeah.
And I was able to fuse that with like, like an English hook, or if I have just like, plain Western chords going, I can add a Carnatic, like, hook to it and melodies to it. So I got comfortable with the idea and it kind of became my sound as well. And I wanted to represent where I came from. I've always maintained that I want my story to be the story of like an Indian boy who grew up, like, from where I grew up and how he perceives the world. And that's the story that I want to put out. And even when I become like a much bigger, or let's say I become a very popular artist, there would still be perspectives. Yeah, I'm saying like, more popular someday.
Okay.
Manifesting, like how you manifest things. So hopefully even then, like, I'll have a different perspective on things. Like, what is it that a rich Indian man feels in comparison to like a Warren Buffett or something like that? And how can I integrate those elements in my music, in my writing? Yeah.
You found your sound in like Carnatic music, but you didn't like, that wasn't like what you did, you kind of stopped at some point doing that. At what point did you feel like, podo idu?
The thing is, see, I'm not like trained musically or anything. I just like, put ideas together, like, and compose things like, which I find are cool. So I was doing like, the Carnatic, like, sampling and fusion and all that. And I realized like, most of it is making my songs sound musical. Mm-hmm. And it's good for like, certain concepts and like, certain themes and all of that. But I also like, I'm a big fan of folk music and stuff. Orkut beat like, if I make like a beat out of it and like a rap beat out of it, and what if I rap some hardcore lyrics over this instead of being all polished and nice and all of that? And if I wanted to actually be gangster and let all my like rage, frustrations out, like, call people out and all of that stuff. So I feel like, I started incorporating a lot of different kinds of elements, and the more I experimented with music, I was like, okay, Inigo, like, let's take one African loop or something like that. Let's like, study music from different parts of the world and like, make it my own. As long as the storytelling is authentic, what is it that I want to say as an MC, as a rap artist? And lyrics are a very important part of being a rap artist. Yeah. So that's like, one thing I want to be authentic towards. But musically, I'm like, okay, I don't want to like, be bound by this, like, one idea. I don't want to be boxed as like, one guy who just makes Carnatic fusions with beats. I want to experiment. I want to do bigger things, more things, newer things. It's also fresh for me as a composer to kind of keep challenging myself, learn newer things every day. So, I mean, I still love like, the idea of fusing like, certain sounds that I did in the past. It'll keep coming back from time to time, but at the same time, I would like to experiment with newer ideas and newer sounds.
Yeah, like you also like enrichment creatively.
Yeah, true.
True. Because if you're like doing the same thing, then it starts feeling monotonous. And as a creative person, you need to like keep doing new things to like feel like, dude, what I'm doing,
exactly,
I'm growing,
You have to like, feel like, nah, either. Like, did I do this? Every day, I like, you have to kind of blow your mind away sometimes to be like, oh shit, like, I'm really cool sometimes, You
are. Like, I did notice that in your songs, I think you don't have like a signature kind of like melody or sound that you go for. Every song is like different on its own merit, Everything is different. Like, I don't think you can say that this song and this song is similar.
Right. Right.
So that also shows like your versatility, because it's very easy to take like there's like a certain BPM that you can go like and you can make a hit song like this.
Right.
But it takes a different kind of creative genius to be like, you know what, I'm going to take this loop and I'm going to make this a big hit.
Yes.
So yeah, you've successfully done it many times.
Thank you very much.
So that is actually very cool. Once again,
thank you.
Yeah.
She said the word cool more than Rajnikant said it in like, Shivaji.
Yeah, I would have definitely opened that laptop. 100%. I would have gotten that money for you, but I would never do that.
Yes.
Never do that. I would never knock on my man.
Yes, absolutely.
You are very mainstream, but you became mainstream a quite a long time ago. You know, you were one of the first rappers to like come and like break out in the scene.
Right.
You know, according to me at least.
Right.
Because like that is breakout to me, okay? That is breakout to me. You might have 10,000 other breakout artists, but he was breakout artist for me, okay? So, like for me, it was like listening to Tamil and listening to like English fused with it. It was very like, I was feeling myself, bro. I was genuinely enjoying the music that you were making.
Right.
And at that point, you also started making like music for like movies and like very big hits, you know. And but the thing is, I've never looked at like Brodha V's music as like music that comes out in movies. That's like his side quest, I feel.
Yes.
Everything, like the music that he does independently, I feel like that is his music. You know, I also feel the very same way about Pal Dabba, you know. Like whenever he makes a song with a movie, and I'm like, I'm waiting for his independent music. You know, I'm waiting for his songs because I get to see his like directorial vision and like he's a great director, you know. So for me, right now, how it's shifted is I'm more excited for the indie tracks that come out than the movie tracks, because then you have to fit it in the narrative of the story. You know? Then it's like a difficult, like you're restricted in some way.
Yes.
When you do it independently, you have so much more freedom, and you also like walked away from a record deal, right?
Yes.
So what was that like when you wanted to be independent?
So when I first got this record deal and everything, I was like super because like, you know, you're finally able to convince your family, parents that like, you know, I'll become a big guy, I'll become popular, I'll become a superstar, without the understanding that just like, you know, signing a record deal doesn't get you anywhere. You have to like, you know, your songs have to be successful, your label needs to back you on every idea that you have, or they need to advise you on like, you know, how to make you a superstar rather, and all of that. So when I signed the deal, I was like, obviously, it still looks great on my CV today that I was one of the first artists to get signed to a major record company. It's just that, like, you know, when I dropped my first song with them, I realized that at that point, today labels have like, you know, kind of gotten very accustomed to indie music, and they know what rap music is like. There's a lot of younger people now working in record companies, but back then it was like, you know, mostly older people who are very familiar with like film music mainly. And independent music to them was still like, you know, playing open mic, small clubs, like, you know, and that kind of a thing. But I obviously wanted to make this a lot more mainstream. And they, I think, didn't have the same vision as I did. For them, it was more like, if you want to make it successful as a rapper, you have to like sound like maybe like a Honey Singh and people like that. And because that was considered rap music, like very that Flow Rider Pitbull sort of a sound.
Like Badshah.
Yes. Badshah was also not there at that point. I mean, he was there, but he wasn't as big as he is right now. I think Badshah and I like pretty much got signed at the same time. Even he was signed to Sony, and I was also like with the same label. And like what happened was, Honey Singh was the benchmark like for hit music. Everybody wanted that kind of a sound because that's what they knew was sellable. And for me, what I felt was like, if he's already doing it, you should approach him to do that. Like for me, why me? Because I want to bring a whole new perspective and a new sound. And I want to do rap music a little more authentically and all that. And I was very young also then. I was like, no, dude, I want to be a hardcore rapper. This is what rap music is about. I'll feel like a sellout if I did that and everything. But without even realizing and understanding that there's a business side to things. But I was like, probably I was also a little naive to think that what I'm doing is like, you know, going to be the next big thing right now. But also, like, you know, there were a lot of creative differences. They didn't know how to package.
You have to believe that what you're doing is the next big thing. So
that I could do it, like, you know, when I had like a lot of control, like, you know, full control over my music and my creativity. When I knew how to market myself, position myself and all of that, it started working out. Appo, they didn't, to be very honest and very open, I don't think they knew how to package a South Indian artist to the entire mainstream. Like,
mainstream.
You know, yes. So when you're a Tamil artist from Bangalore and everything, and I mean, I wasn't predominantly making music in Tamil, but my the things I was saying, my music and everything had a lot of South Indian twang to it. But they were like, how do we package this and sell it up north in Delhi or like Kolkata and like UP and all these places? So that's where, like, you know, the divide began. And I was like, why does it matter? Why does every song have to sell to everybody? It's not like, you know, every Hindi song reaches like,
down
you know,
south,
down south. And not every big hit in down south also like, works up north. It's fine to like, focus on those particular regions, understand your audience, your market, and like, make it blow up in that particular space. But for them, it was like, we'll put in this much, we want to get this much in return. And I was like, I don't think this is practical, and I don't think like, we're on the same page. I don't think you understand where you want to position me, how you want to position me in the market. And I don't think we like, share that enthusiasm of me wanting to do what you want from me, and I don't think you can do what I want for myself. So then we just like, I quit, I walked out of the deal, and because I was like, I'm just wasting time, and let me just take control of my music and let me release this independently, market things independently, because I'm in full control now. If I know that now if I fail, if I falter anywhere, it's fully my fault. Nadan tappu pannirken here. Whereas like, I don't like blaming people and be like, oh, idu seriya pannirundana the song super odirkum and all that kind of stuff. And you always like, have that regret otherwise. Be like, what if at that one day this guy had done it right? Here, like, I'm fully in charge of everything. We make sure till the last minute, like, everything is perfect. And now if a song doesn't do as well as I expected it to, then it's probably the song's fault, my fault. And we can like, blame ourselves for it, and we learn from it, and next time we get better and not make the same mistakes.
Interesting. But like, you started making indie music like way back, and like right now the indie scene is like completely changed, So what has like your experience been witnessing that change right now,
It is crazy, man. I think the internet has really helped like so many people voice their opinions and like, put their art form out there to express themselves. I mean, now especially there are so many different kinds of social media platforms. Everybody can be a content creator on one or the other platform, depending on what it is that you want to do. So Appo, it wasn't like that pretty much, because you had only one YouTube at best. And I think this was even before.
Just pray for it to go viral.
Yeah.
You used to have like those like viral hits.
Yeah.
Like if one song gets picked up, it gets picked up and played everywhere.
Correct. And there was a lot less content also coming out back in the day.
Yeah.
So the fewer content creators. So there was a higher possibility back then of your songs like, getting picked up by a common audience.
Yeah.
But now everybody is a content creator, especially after the pandemic. Everybody knows like, how to make content. All you need is a phone. And that's it. The internet. That's about it. So it's great, like, how the world has changed. Everybody can get jobs, get careers. I mean, there are courses right now that offer like, how to be a content creator in some certain colleges, even in India and all of that.
Oh, really?
Oh, like that's so cool. Like I know like so many young parents with like, very young kids and all, when they ask them what is it that you want to be. We used to be like, oh, pilot, army cricketer and all that kind of stuff. Nowadays people like, I want to be a gamer, I want to be a streamer, I want to be a YouTuber, because they watch all these popular gamers and streamers and they see the kind of fans, the money they all make, and parents are also very supportive now.
True.
Amazing.
Yeah, but how do you think the indie scene has shifted so far?
There is a lot of audience for it now, and I believe that's mainly because film music has started to suck generally, and that's like, I think it's a fact, it's not even an opinion. Back in the day, like, this is what happens generally when film music is going really well, and obviously because you have all the pull of the TV channels, radios and everything, and you have big budgets, productions, producers like, spending crazy money on promoting your song and everything. And if you have good songs, good music videos and everything coming out, film music is unbeatable. When it starts to drop, people look at different kinds of content. Be like, okay, where else do I go for this? I'm hating what is being shoved down my throat. That's why like indie music like, kind of became very popular, and rap music especially was very brutal, very honest. It was unfiltered, and it's easier to like make rap music as well. You don't need to have like really studied music. You don't need to have picked up a keyboard or a guitar, learned how to make music.
Beat on AI.
Yeah. Now though you can do anything. I mean, AI is like, okay, cool. That's fine. But yeah, so it's easier to like, become a rap artist. All you need is like a sense of rhythm, lyrics and all. Or average like, if it's relatable, people will like make you a star.
Yeah.
So now what has happened is, since that void has been created because film music is not doing as well anymore, and cinemas aren't like, running as well because OTT and everything is come into the picture, so that that grandeur of like, what cinema is and movies. And I think in my opinion, only Tamil cinema and like Malayalam cinema are like, doing fantastically well in terms of music, in terms of sales, streams and all of that stuff. Whereas, and that's exactly why here, like, indie music is still like, on the rise, like geographically, I feel. But whereas like, up north, Punjab and like, Hindi and all, it's been there for like a decade almost.
Yeah.
So now definitely there's a bigger audience for this. There is more people showing up to events. Independent artists are headlining like music festivals. They're in every commercial. Brand level, the people want indie rappers. They're invited to, like, you're getting endorsement deals. So you're pretty much living that superstar life that you could only dream of. Back in the day, people would just be like, okay, we have to be able to, like, that's the only way we'll be able to run a household. Versus now, people are like, okay, fine, where do I put my investments? Like, what kind of a car are we buying? Are we buying our second house? I'm like, that's pretty cool. That's how it's changed.
That is true. I mean, I have heard a lot about, like, from my Mumbai friends,
Right.
about like the rap scene over there, and like they go on and on about like the beef and everything, you
Right.
know. And like when I talk about it with my friends, we're all discussing. We're just like, Tamil la onnu beef danda varala, manda avladhaan pichitu poirum.
அது என்ன பிரச்சனைனா பாம்பேல பீஃப் பேண்ட் அதுக்கு தான் இங்க இன்னும் ஆவல.
No, but like seriously, like rap beef is like the best thing that can happen to business, I feel, because like when two people are actually like going at each other, you have like full investment in what they're saying, you know. So like when we're just like, you know, they should orchestrate it. They should orchestrate it because it's good business. Everyone's entertained.
The thing is, when you orchestrate it, no, it doesn't feel as authentic. A true beef is like, when you know two people actually want to punch each other in the face. Okay, very, very like badly, and that's when you can see it in their lyrics as well.
Yeah.
And they say like, some ridiculously wild things.
Yeah.
And you know for a fact that these guys hate each other.
Yeah.
And that's when you as an audience are like, oh my god, what's going to happen? Oh my god, what is he going to say? Oh shit, can he say that actually even?
Yeah.
Versus when you orchestrate it, it's like, okay, கொஞ்சம் polite-ஆ தான் இருப்பாங்க, like, அவ்வளோலாம் அந்த லைன்லாம் cross பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. Then it doesn't become as fun, like, for the audience, I mean.
Yeah. True.
And rap in general, like, it's a very competitive genre of music. Everybody wants to be the best. I will go up to a rapper and be like, nah, I'm better, nee enna pannuva po.
Even in new song.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the best there is. You have to, like, say that in the booth. It's like an orchestrated boxing match. I mean, it's a planned boxing match. You are going to give your best punches, best shots because you want to win. But outside of it, like, once the match is done, cool, like, we don't like, hate each other to a point where
like, how like I've interviewed like 3 rappers, okay, like on the podcast I've had 3 rappers and all of them are soft spoken. All of them, like all of them are so sweet, and I'm just like ivungala idu solranga appadina irukum sometimes. So yeah, I understand how like ulla potu neenga pesite it's like hey vaada sadu poda variya
illa ipo enna see Fries with Potate is such a nice sweet person and all that, and adhe rapper ah irundite ipo like challenge pannanga, then we'll also like get very gangster and stuff like that. Like illa na adha gettu, I have to be very protective of my image and my skills and all that stuff. But when you're talking to somebody who's not like, a rap artist and who's not directly competing with you, then it's more like you don't have to bring out that persona. It's not necessary.
True. Why do you think like rappers actually have to like tell other rappers that nana get there? I've always wondered, like everybody says it, like everybody who's in the rap game needs to tell everybody that like avanga dhan king of rap, avanga dhan vandu rock star of rap, like everybody has something to say, but why is it that like you don't see playback singers going at each other? You get what I'm saying? So like what's the deal there? Like why do you guys compete so much?
I think rap music generally itself happens to somebody who's like, struggling and going through something, and they want to use it as a means of expressing. Like you're very frustrated, like, when you first discover rap music and you pour all your frustrations out, and through that you generally start like talking about your problems, and in that problems there could be a person involved, and you want to diss them, you want to talk like, things about them, that this guy did this to me, that's why I feel this way about like him, about life in general and all that. And when it comes from that space, you are always like, pretty much talking about like, oh, see, I've done this on my own, I've gotten this for myself, now who's laughing types. So that's kind of like, the core of what the genre is, apart from its socio-political, like, messaging and all of that stuff. And even when that is involved, when that kind of messaging is involved, you're hyping your own people up, you're hyping yourself up. So it's the kind of genre that, like, lets you boost your own morale, your confidence, and let people know that I'm confident, I'm here to stay, and which is why I claim that I'm the best. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, what can they do about it?
Yeah. Can you battle me? Can you rap? No, you can't. Now, if you want to get into a fight and stuff like that, that's stupid, because, like, we're talking music, and you want to, like, take that very real and be like, oh no, we want to start throwing punches and stuff. That's legal prachna. Jail ku pedanu.
Idana vaayile mudichirum.
Vaayile mudichittu poidalam veetukku avladhaan.
Fair. Very fair. Okay,
Yeah.
I actually wanted to ask you this. Like, you've done, you've composed music, you've written your own lyrics, you rap your own songs,
Right.
all of it, it's done by you,
Right.
produced by you. Why haven't you ever thought about, like, doing, like, a full-fledged film? And I also kind of understand why, a little bit I understand why, but, like, I'm just saying it could be good money, So why haven't you thought about it? I mean, at least back then, right? Not right now.
Yes. I
Because,
think,
like, back then, if you think about it, like, you were trying to make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you putting yourself out there, and if you got, like, a film deal, it would have been great money and great for your name,
Yes, yes.
Positioning wise, it would have been solid. Right
Yeah.
now, I don't know. But, like, just saying back then.
the reason was purely because when I first started rapping, I just wanted to be known as a rap artist, because it gives me the freedom to make my own songs. I'm literally talking about myself or what I saw happen, like, to somebody else and stuff. Whereas with film music, one thing I noticed was, like, there's a script, there's a character, there's an actor, and these are the situations, and you have to make music only according to that. And not every time, like, can you make a rap song, like, work in all those situations.
Yeah.
I'll have to become a composer now.
Yeah.
I have to be a film composer, which is not what I, at that point, wanted to be or do. I was very focused on just making, like, rap beats, produce hip hop things, and,
Yeah,
be a
pretty
part.
adamant.
Yeah, build the culture, like, take this forward. I wanted to, like, collaborate with more artists. I wanted to just make hip hop big. And I wanted this to be a thing because I was very passionate about, like, hip hop and rap. So I was like, let them do, they're good at it. For me, like, I'm the one of the first guys who started this, so I want to make sure I see the scene grow into something so much bigger, and, like, this should, like, probably rival film music in terms of revenue and all of that stuff, and which is what is happening today. If you see, like, in the country itself, there are so many rappers who are, like, superstars. Their songs are performing better than, like, film songs even sometimes, and that's how far we've come, and that's how far we've taken things. So now, like, that I feel like I've achieved, like, a couple of things, like, that I thought was probably impossible. Now I think I'm a little more open-minded to be like, okay, fine, and try
Really?
things out.
I actually would have never pegged you for, like, someone who would have been open for it.
I mean, no, man, music, I don't want to put limitations to things. I want to, like, be able to do anything and everything someday, for sure. So now I think, like, I'm open to experiment and experimentation and see, like, what the world has to offer. Movies, music direction, anything for that matter, because I want to expand and do newer things, like, as an artist and a creator myself. I don't know, I would love to, like, direct a movie someday, maybe, like, write a script someday, or, like, probably even act someday. I just don't know. I just want to see what is out there for me in the world.
Yeah, pull a hip hop Tamila. Because he also did a movie.
Yes, he did.
About his rap journey,
Yes.
That was also one of my introductions to rap.
Okay.
Yeah, it was hip hop Tamila. It was Clubla Mabla.
Oh,
I
nice.
think it was a lot of people
Yes,
got introduced
yes.
to, like, rap through Clubla Mabla.
True, that is very true.
Yeah.
That is one of his first songs that blew up like crazy, like,
Blew up like crazy.
Insane that
Everybody
was.
was singing it. Like,
Yeah.
we were not allowed to sing it in school, so we would be, like, singing it in, like, secret. We'd,
Why
like,
weren't you allowed to sing it at school?
Because it had a lot of, like, themes that weren't allowed in my school,
Clubbala, mabbala.
Yeah, Theriyala Pombala, Ennadi Nadakkudu. Like, it's very, like, derogatory.
Right.
It kind of is. So
It
you
is,
weren't very
yeah.
wrong. So, yeah, right call over there. So, like, all the Tamil kids in my school, we would be, like, singing it to, like, we would be like, who can sing this verse right now? Yeah. Now that you do want to do, like, you do want to explore,
Yes.
Now that you actually, like, have given, like, I would give music direction a chance, and, like, even film direction a chance, like, did you direct your like new music video?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god, really? That was like actually like a wing. I winged it. I was like, I'm gonna get this so wrong.
Yeah, so I directed this along with another friend of mine who works with me regularly. He's a frequent collaborator called Vivian. So both of us, we sat down and we had this song, and we were like, what is it that we can do, that we haven't done before?
Yeah.
And also because Pal Dabba is known for his music videos, and since I'm collaborating with him, I wanted the music video to be like something very cool as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we came up with this idea. Like someday I was just sitting and being like, dude, it'd be damn cool if we had a cyberpunk world. Imagine there's dance, there's fights, there is something like a vigilante sort of a thing. But how is it that we put it all together? And it took a while to come up with the entire story. And then we were like, dude, should we just make this like a short film, because there's so much content, just coming. I want to connect this, make it into a movie rather than a music video. And then we were like, okay, it's going to be very expensive also to make something like this. Like, we'll keep this asset for another day. But yeah, so directing this was a lot of fun. The VFX team and everything, we all had a sit down, and I played them a couple of references, and then they came back with what was possible, and it was like a whole new experience for me working with on a video of such big scale.
Yeah.
I was like, damn son, if I can do this, then I really want to be able to someday be able to direct a movie, bigger sequences and things like that. So it's opened up a whole new
creative level.
Yes.
Unlocked a new creative ambition.
Yeah. But it's also quite time taking. Now that you have hands-on done a big project like this, now you realize and understand why it takes so long for certain projects to come out.
Yeah, because you also told about this project 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Is that why it was?
I mean, the song and everything was ready probably even before that. We were like, okay, fine. We need to have this product ready, but it has to look the part. It has to really look good. It can't come out with any mistakes whatsoever, because then one mistake and the general audience is going to just spit on it.
Yeah.
They were like, bro, what is this? One shot can really ruin the video. And we had to fine tune everything, make sure everything was perfect till the end. And that's when I realized how time taking it really is. And I have a mad new level of respect for directors and VFX artists.
But you've done a lot of other music videos independently.
Not on this scale though.
On this scale, okay.
On this scale, I was like, oh my God, this really puts things into perspective. It's not like just taking a camera and be like, okay, this is the concept, this is the script. Okay, fine, we can shoot this in 2 days. And simple things, and edit this in 2 days and grade it in 1 day, and that's it. The video is ready in a week at best. This is it took months. And I was like, bro, when can we release this? When can we release this? And my team is also sitting over here and be like, bro, it's been a while, no, since we put a song out. I'm like, I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We were also excited, and I was with Pal Dabba also, I was super excited.
Yeah. Pal is also killed it, man. Pal's killed it. He's brought his own vibe, his own sound, just from the song perspective. And man, this is the first time I'm actually the first time I got to see Pal really dance. I know, he's from a crew and everything in Chennai, he participates in battles and all of that stuff. But when I saw him on the set do what he could do, I was like, dude, this guy's gonna be a star someday. This guy has everything to become a star.
True. He really got it.
Yep.
I also wanted to ask, I know this might be a little jarring, but to the questions that I asked previously, but you have worked with content creators before, and I wanted to ask your experience, because the first song, I told a couple of my friends that you're coming to the studio, and I'm like, oh my God, Vanko, So what was it like working with Jordanian?
Oh, they were pretty cool, man. I mean, I've known them since I started rapping. In fact, Nasir from the Jordanian, his crew was named Black Eyes Crew. They got that name the very first day I got on stage ever in my life. So both of us met on that particular day. That they were dancing and I was rapping. And this was at an event in Bangalore. And ever since then, it must have been 2008 and stuff. And I knew Beep and Vineet, that is from the Jordanian. Him and I have been friends. He used to be a beatboxer back in the day. He was only a beatboxer and he used to MC a little bit and all that. And this was way before the concept of Jordanian even existed. And ever since we were like, dude, we should do something like, at some point, just for the culture, just for hip hop. You should beatbox, I should rap, he should dance. That's the level of conversation we'd always have.
Yeah.
But then when they became Jordanian and the content they were putting out, and when I got this song like ready, and I was like, bro, I think this is it. Like finally the calling has come. Like we can collaborate on something like great
On a
finally.
massive level too.
Yes.
It was massive.
True.
Yeah.
And we just like, did it like, because we wanted to have fun. Honestly,
It looked like it.
yeah. We didn't know like, the song was going to like really, really blow up or not and all that. But we knew like, we had a good song. And what we were conceptualizing for the video and everything seemed fun. And after the execution and once the video was ready, we were like, oh shit, this is actually a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of fun. But anyway, at the end of the day, it's the audience that decides it. But like within like a couple of hours of the video coming out, everybody started doing the dance step. It went viral. And this was back in the day when TikTok was also there.
Yeah.
It went like super viral on that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this has become like a whole phenomenon. Everybody all over is doing the step.
Yeah.
I saw even some of the celebrities in Chennai and all of that, like, were doing the step and the hook step, the dance step and all that. I was like, my God, this song is like, really blown up. I even remember there was this, some shawarma joint in Coimbatore and a restaurant in Malaysia somewhere. It was named Vainko. And I found all these reels during the pandemic. Like, people are going and reviewing this shawarma joint. I think in Madurai or Coimbatore, I don't remember, somewhere. And they had the exact same logo of the song as well as their shop's logo. And like, damn it, if it weren't for the pandemic, I would have really loved to come here and just like take a photo over here.
Oh my God, that's actually so cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
The fact that it even became such big street culture, like I was like, man, that's what really hip hop does, sometimes.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Like I also vividly remember searching Manko on YouTube. Like very vividly remember like hearing one of my friends talk about it, and I was just like, I should watch this, see what the scene is about, and like vividly remember typing in Manko, and like another one of my favorite creators are the Vixen crew,
Oh yeah.
And I also saw like you collaborated with them, and I think it's like so cool that like you like pick these talents and like make them part of like your music, and you give them like a spot where it's not like, oh, you take them and like you put them over there and it's like, oh, your song. It's like equally like theirs and yours. It's damn cool, bro. Like I like it because like I see what you're doing, because like you're giving them this platform that they probably like, it would have taken a long time for them to like come across something that would have been so lucrative, it was a quick lucrative like opportunity for them, and I thought that was so good, what the girls did.
Collaboration is key, man. Like, I truly believe that like, the community is still like, small.
Yeah.
And if we can all like, help each other grow in some way or the other, it'll just benefit the entire scene. Everybody like, gets to do what they want on a much bigger scale if we all collaborate and not compete.
Yeah.
And if I really like somebody, like, if I like what they bring to the table, I feel like we can do something over here. Like, there's something unique that we can do. Like, I can bring in my strengths and you can bring in yours. And let's see, like, what the product turns out to be.
Yeah, putting the brother in brotherly.
Yeah.
The brotherhood. The brotherhood. The brotherhood.
Brother and Salavelity.
Yeah, but I thought like your new song was very Daft Punk coded, very Tron Legacy.
Right.
I felt like, and that's a good thing because I feel like that's what you were going for,
I don't know what I was going for. I was just like
cipher,
making something.
like
Yes. I was just like, let's just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Let's just have fun with this.
Yeah.
And let's put the song out. And I mean, I'm glad that people are loving it. And getting compared to like Daft Punk by itself is like in itself is a big thing. It's like a big honor. And thank you so much.
No, because
Robin
like in
Andre.
Tron Legacy, like they have like this other world where it's like super like different. Have you watched
Yes.
Tron Legacy? It's one of the craziest films that I watched, and you won't believe it, I watched it on a PSP like 100 times.
You had a PSP and you watched. Okay.
I know.
Yeah, bro. Like, you should have placed the PSP over there and watched it from the next room, no?
I watched it on a PSP because like at that time we had just learned to like put the movies in a PSP.
You're sure you didn't watch it through a keyhole? Huh? Okay.
I watched it on a PSP like 10 times.
Okay.
And when I saw the video and like when I heard the sound, it was like so reminiscent of like what it felt watching Tron Legacy for me. And yeah, I I really love the song, man. I'm not saying it to say it.
Right.
I really can't say like ingenuine things. It just comes off as ingenuine. But I genuinely love the song.
Thank you so much. That
It
means a
was
lot.
Fantastic. You know,
Well done.
I've never heard like a badly produced Brodha song. It's never happened before.
Touch wood.
Yeah. But yeah, wow, the song is out. What are your thoughts on the song?
No, man, I'm just like, really happy that the song even came about. It happened, the collaboration worked out, and the video is exactly how I envisioned it to be. And the fact that it's out there and people are like loving it, people are liking it, and the response is being like super positive. And that's what you want as a creator.
Yeah.
For people to really appreciate like, your hard work and
Yeah.
like acknowledge that you have put in work. And I'm just happy like, that the response is being crazy and we didn't leave anything, like any stone unturned.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Sorry to cut you off. So I ran like a 10-miler like
Okay.
on Sunday.
Okay.
And on the entire 16 kilometers I was running, that
Okay.
was the song that was playing on
Oh,
loop.
wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then after like 10 kilometers, I was like, okay, I need like a little bit of change because it was going on loop.
Check.
And then it was ready, steady, po, so it was fine.
Oh, okay.
It was just playing Brodha songs.
Good. This week's lunch and dinner is sorted. Adam's only contributed directly. We should have potato fries. Fries with potato.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it to say it, but like I genuinely, like the day before I went to the gym, I was listening to it, and then after that morning itself, I knew that okay, this is going to be my run song today. Like
Nice.
there's no way, like this earworm, அவ்வளவுதான் இது காது விட்டு வெளியே போவாது until I'm like sick of it, you know. So yeah, 10 kilometers loop for like 1.5 hours, the same song over and over again. Yeah, then I just went over to like other Brodha songs, and I was just like, man, this guy's crazy. Everything sounds fresh,
Thank you.
You never get tired of your songs. I feel like I felt that with other people's songs. Like
Okay.
over time, like some songs you listen to it, you immediately like it, and then you listen to it a couple times and you don't like it after that. Like after that you're tired of it. And then there are some songs that you listen to it for the first time and you're just like, அப்படின்னு இருக்கும். But then you're like second time, third time, you're like falling in love with the song. You're just like, this is I'm like listening to all the layers right now and it's crazy, So for me, like all of your songs, every time I hear it, I'm always like, அப்படி இருக்கும் firstல, but then I was like, oh my god, this is actually so fresh அப்படின்னு தோணும் எனக்கு. Like every time I listen to your songs, I'm just like, bro, this is so fresh அப்படின்னு. When I say fresh, I mean like I can't think of another song that sounds like it.
Right.
I can't think of another beat that sounds like it. I can't listen to another like melody that sounds like it.
Right.
I genuinely can't. Maybe I just can't. But I genuinely feel like that's the kind of. It feels like that to me. It feels
Okay.
like like காலையில early morning you wake up, there's like dew on the grass. It feels like that.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Sure. Everybody's writing bars. Everybody's dropping bars. Fries with potato. நீங்க இன்னும் rap channel ஆரம்பிச்சிருங்க அவ்வளவுதான்.
வேணாப்பா.
Tech, law எல்லாம் முடிச்சிட்டு like become a rapper also.
தலை நம்மளுக்கு வராது எதுக்கு போகணும்.
வருது அதான் நல்லாவே வருது.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it to say it, but I genuinely like wanted to say it because like that day when I was running and listening to that song, like I was listening to it on loop, and the only reason that I like switched to another song at that point was because I was tired, like physically tired, But yeah, it was a fantastic song.
Thank you.
I can't like appreciate it enough. I loved the music video, loved the VFX. I feel like everybody in the music industry itself, they're investing a lot on making their music videos really good.
Right. Yes.
And one thing that I noticed between like the film industry and like the indie artists is that the film industry kind of like puts them in a 9:16 ratio box.
Right.
And then make sure that this hook step works out super well, know.
Yes.
But like indie artists, they make like really well produced, like really thought out, intricate stories that were so badly missing from like movies sometimes.
Right.
You really want that.
Right.
And I feel like that, like you said, you're filling the space.
Yes.
You
totally are.
You guys are
There's a
filling the
need
space.
for like people like us also.
Yeah.
So-
When I was talking to Pal on the podcast also, like I was asking him like, oh, like do you what do you think about the hook step culture? And he was like, I'll never do it in my music videos, but I'll 100% like do it on Instagram. But my music videos are like my directorial, work. And I felt the same way about this video, And also, quick shout out to the ladies in the music video. You guys smashed it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What's next after this? Like, when you took a break, you came back, and the music industry, you've seen it change 100 times.
Yeah.
And you're still standing tall, tall, way taller, So, what's next for you?
So I took some time out to, obviously figure out, my sound once again, because I have, done, when you make music for this long and when you're playing shows and everything, at a point you feel like, okay, what next? And I wanted to take some time out to rework on my sound and refigure my ideas out in terms of now that I want to be able to direct music videos and all of that as well. So Ipo, we worked on so many songs. There are so many songs that are almost ready. All I want to do for the next, I think 1 year is to just keep dropping songs after songs and just tour, perform, just be out there, just enjoy this music thing.
Yeah.
Be everywhere, without any breaks. And maybe after a year, I'll probably take a break and go chill, go see the world and come back or something. But I think for the next 1 year, I just want to do as many projects as possible, as many videos as possible, probably be a part of some movies and all of that stuff. Yeah, just very inspiring times for myself. I just want to be able to do more.
You feel rejuvenated.
Yes, rejuvenated.
I understand. Sometimes you just need to take a step back and really look at yourself and just be take that break.
Yeah.
It's very necessary, I feel.
I think what had happened was also that when you're doing this for so long, you just feel like half the days you're like, am I the one doing all these things? And you kind of get this imposter syndrome sort of a thing. And then there are days where you're like, what you're doing is not good enough. I feel like I can do so much better than this. You're very used to your own sound and your techniques and the way you work and all of that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a good time for me to take a step back, relax and not do much and then rework everything, find that inspiration again. And when it hits you, then there's nothing that stops you after that.
Yeah. I think a lot of creatives, because of how the system is right now, we kind of feel if you don't put out a song or you don't put out something in the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, then people will forget you, because it is very possible that in the loads of content that comes out every day,
correct,
that you could get lost, and
it is unfortunate that it's become a social media race also, Ipo.
100%.
That everybody needs to be worried about, okay, how often am I putting content out? Is this edited and trimmed and colored the right way and everything? And it's more about promoting your work than creating the work, Ipo. That kind of gets tedious after a while. But luckily for me,
marketers.
Yeah, exactly.
You're artists.
Yes. Fortunately for me, since I come from a different time and I've been here and I've built a very loyal base over the years, it's okay for me, to take a little bit of a break and, people still come back and they're like, oh my God, where were you all this while? And it's been working for me, which I'm very grateful for. But yes, 100%. But yeah, I do, get the whole, the stress and pressures of not being able to release things back to back for newer content creators and stuff. And you tell me, how is it with you? How is it, let me reverse interview.
No.
உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது கஷ்டம் இருக்கா are you able to
இல்ல எனக்கு ஒரு கஷ்ட நஷ்டமா அத ஜாலியா பிரதர் வீடியோட பாட்காஸ்ட் பண்ணிருக்கேன் நீங்க என்ன இப்படி சொல்றீங்க but yeah I also think that when you take artists, right, I feel they're entrepreneurs but they don't get the credit of being entrepreneurs.
True.
When you're passionate about it, 100% you can be that artist, the artist that just makes art to make art, but sometimes that's not economical.
Yes.
You have to put food on your table. You have to think like a businessman after a point. You have to be an entrepreneur,
Yes.
So, yeah, I believe that all artists are entrepreneurs. They just don't know it yet.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
There is no music without the music business and likewise, vice versa.
Yeah.
So, you have to be able to understand the business of what you're doing in order to be able to put out the kind of content that reaches people and what you like as well.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're not making money from your content, you will stop doing it.
Yeah.
You'll probably get another job because you have to run your household.
Yeah.
You put food in your plates.
If you're good at something, don't do it for free.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
And if you're good at something, try to get paid for it.
Yes.
You know. So yeah, I think that like overall right now a lot of people are more aware about like how things are, like, you know, back then people didn't know about like masters or like you know, they don't know much about like what goes on behind the scenes, like what labels are, but now people are very cognizant of like which label this is coming out with, and
Right.
like who's doing this and who owns the masters to this song and stuff
Correct.
like that. And it's great. Knowledge is power,
Yes.
you know. So,
100%.
yeah, what are your final takeaways after today's session? I'm kidding. But yeah, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you so much.
I
Thank
would
you.
have put you on the spot with that.
I was actually thinking also, answer panniya on all that.
Parvala. I was actually like fully thinking about like maybe you should like sit and therapize, like brother V, like tell me how you really feel.
Oh my God. So you see, like, you know, back when I was a kid.
Right. So thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank
and
you so
like
much
thanks
for having me.
Oh my God. Thank you for being like so open and actually talking to me. And like I said, like, you know, they're like so gangsta on stage and on their music videos. And like when you meet them in real life, they're like so sweet. It's unreal. Yeah.
Abdiya namunga. What she said is the truth. We're all very, very good people. We're not bad people at all.
I mean, yes.
Hell, that's summa.
Yeah, he's very nice. But yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to also go listen to his song if you haven't already yet, which is called, do you wanna do the plug?
It's called DATN, Dance Away the Night, Pal Dabba and Brother V. It's out on all streaming platforms. Please do go check it out.
Yes. And it's honestly one of my favorites right now. So, you know, I like to think I have good music taste. You know, I got full street cred, Brian. Yeah, but thank you so much for being a part of this once again. I'm so honored to be sitting in your presence. Literally
you so
talking
much
to
for having
you
me.
is such
you.
a dream come true for me.
Thank you so much.
I
Means a
hope-
lot. You're far too kind.
I hope you were comfortable and you were having a good time, gala time.
I was not at all comfortable. Please, somebody save me. Oh my God. No. Kidding, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Oh my God.